All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our special stream, day 6 of the IRIAM XL Gato week stream. It is Browntul, and I am the host for the entire week so far. We've had a wonderful week. Got a couple of people joining us here on Twitch and IRIAM. Also, my noise gate is going crazy right now. Maybe because I'm very noisy. Let me turn it down a little bit so I can hear me a little better. There we go. This should be a little better. This is powered by Elgato Voice Focus, which is really good for podcasting situations. And we're about to do a little nice podcast with Mycena's Cottage, which we'll hear from in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our schedule is. We got a couple of streams left. As you see, today is our pouring tea collab with Mycena. And then later tonight, exclusively on IRIAM, we will have the stream with Himi Subaru where we will do a singing class with her. And then tomorrow morning, we'll have the weekly recap. And on tomorrow night, the live 2D model reveal and the final push for the event. And the incentives, as you see on here, you see all the incentives all the way down to 100k. We're currently in third place at 80,000. So the last redeem to get is 100k with the song with Himi Subaru. And you see the event incentives on the right side on the Twitch stream. Of course, you can still get your YCH scuffed profile picture at 2,000. Whoa! What's happening here? Right in the middle of our explanation, we have Nyx the Demon joining us for the first time and has given me the most Awa head pat ever. Awa. Thank you very much, Nyx the Demon. And based off the incentives, that means Nyx's name is going to be in my banner for all of June and probably July. It's going to take me a while to make this banner. So congratulations, Nyx. And another 1,000 will get the scuff profile picture. So Nyx is already getting there. So inspirational. All right. Well, if you're on IRIAM and you don't know what the incentives are, please visit the website in the bio, iriamelgato.BrowntulStar's.com, and can learn a little bit more about what we got in store. Bright Souls joined us as well on IRIAM. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We've got a jam-packed collaboration with a lot of content. Now, how many of you have always wondered whether it is good to have PR as a VTuber? Press 1 in the chat if you agree. You know, PR can mean a lot of different things. Of course, it stands for public relations, but it's a little bit more than just, are you nice? Or do you cause drama? Is there drama? You know, there's a lot more complex than that. And in today's talk, we're going to learn a little bit more on how you can have good VTuber PR. 2% going with the number 2 on IRIAM, because clearly 2 is bigger than 1. Well, let's go ahead and hear from our special guest. She's a multi-platform content creator and does a lot of different types of live streams, has many years of experience doing both live content and long form and short form content. This is Mycena's Cottage. Hello, Mycena. How are you doing?
Hello, good evening, happy Sunday.
There we go. Well, it's been a long time since I've gone to chat with you on IRIAM. I know you were very successful on here, and then you got some milk. So I couldn't talk to you for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be back eventually. When they open it, I'll be back. I had some stuff going on, so I needed a break. And I think I felt at the time the only way I would actually take a break was to delete my account. So
That's a huge story for maybe when you come back one day. But it's so nice to be able to chat with you and to see your face again. I know that you've also been streaming on Twitch a lot as well. And tell me a little bit more about that.
I've been on Twitch. I think I started on Twitch about a month after I stopped doing IRIAM. It's been nice. The technology has gotten the better of me a little bit, but I'm getting there. I'm slowly starting to learn. I feel like there's a lot more to learn on Twitch than there was on IRIAM, I think, a bit. At least for me, because I wasn't a super there's been that, but it's been fun. I get to play a lot of Grimshire, which is my latest obsession right now. So
Mm,
I've been enjoying that part of it at least.
that's so awesome. We got Foster joining us in the Twitch as well, and Nick sent us a little heart for lots of love to Mycena's Cottage. Now, I know you have a lot of content to share with us about PR, and you and I, we chat a lot when we were colleagues here on IRIAM, and we would always talk about how it seems pretty easy for us to practice good PR versus other people, but I guess we've never really had gotten the opportunity to share what exactly is PR. And so we have been planning some type of talk where we can talk about this, and that time has come, I see. So I'm
I know.
really,
I
really
feel like we've been
excited.
talking about doing this for months and months. Like, I feel like we started talking about doing this in like November of last year. Finally getting it done. I'm glad we're finally able to do it. Hopefully people can use our tips and feel less stressed about it.
I think we're already in pretty good shape. I hope. Now, if you're in the Twitch chat or the IRIAM chat, be sure to ask your question. And if you ask in the Twitch chat, we will pin your message when we ask the question. It'll show up on the stream. So we encourage you all to ask any questions you have. And as we go through the different slides, we will give you the opportunity to ask that question. So we're going to start with a couple of slides that Mycena has provided us, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Elgato's partner slash ambassador program, and then we'll end with a pretty fun activity. So look forward to that. Okay, with that insight, let's go ahead and show the slides that we have prepared. And Acellus saying hello to us on Twitch as well. Look how
Oh,
cute this is. Look at this.
yeah, I made extra cute slides because we're so cute.
I I heard that you were a expert at Canva.
Yeah, my abilities on Canva are unmatched. I'm so good.
All right. Well, I see that the first slide that you've provided to us is just a question about what is public relations for VTubing, and what is that?
So I think um corporations have sort of skewed the definition in a lot of people's minds of what is PR, what is public relations. I think for VTubers and I think like you see like the typical YouTuber apology video where they're in a white outfit and it's like afternoon sunlight. It's a very specific type of video that I think a lot of people think of when they're thinking of like damage control and stuff like that. And so it's really simply about the relationships that you have, even with people that you haven't necessarily interacted before. So it's your reputation, it's how people experience and perceive you as a person or you as a VTubing entity, and you as a business. And so instead of it being sort of reactionary, your best sort of way to go about it is to be, proactive with it and have uh, act in a way in your day to day that gives you a good reputation that people will not be like, yeah, that sounds like something that person would do when somebody's running around and being like, "Hey, I heard that Browntul drove a tank through a Walmart," and then people are like, "Yeah, I heard that too. I think that actually happened. I could see Browntul doing that." Versus, obviously, Browntul has excellent PR. Everybody's gonna be like, "That seems not correct. I think you're thinking of someone else." And so, for VTubers, it's stuff like how you're acting on stream, how you're acting in public space, like forums that everybody can see, like Twitch, how you're acting in Discords, especially group Discords with a lot of people, and collaborations, and your community management. So, how you're acting with your community members, your chatters. Everybody already practices PR to a certain extent. It's just whether you're practicing positive PR or negative PR. You have a reputation whether or not you're actively working on it.
Yeah, and I really agree with the part that whenever we join a space, if you already have a reputation, whether it comes from elsewhere or it's just blank. Like maybe the reputation is we don't know anything about you. And so whatever actions you do gets added to your reputation, and the skill of being able to control that is the PR side of things.
Yeah, and I think, the internet itself feels very vast, but I think the VTuber like sphere of the internet is actually quite small. And so if you sort of misbehave in one area, that's really gonna go around. So if you're only on YouTube and you do some mischief on YouTube and then you switch to Twitch, people on Twitch are gonna find out. There's a lot of like all the VTubers only have like 4 degrees of connection with each other away from each other. So like it's a very small group of people, and so you want to just be on your best behavior as much as possible.
We got Private Galated Wing joining us in IRIAM, joining us with
I mean,
Mycena's Cottage, chatting about public relations for VTubing. And so also really like the example you gave because I am a race car streamer when I started. I'm not sure if I would crash trucks. So
so you would drive a tank through a Walmart, is what you're saying.
I didn't say that was true. But like I have a driver's license. I
Do you have a
okay, I
tank?
guess that's a complicated. That is complicated. Yes, I can't just use that to drive a tank, but I sure do like driving. Uh, okay, so that's a big part of what PR is, and don't forget you can ask in the IRIAM chat or Twitch chat if you have any questions on what we're going through. And so, look at the next slide here. You divide PR into 4 pillars, and let's talk about the first one.
So the first pillar is reputation. So this would be like, what is the general aura of your presence when you're not around? So like, what are people saying about you when you're not around? So if somebody sees you on like the top charts of IRIAM, are they being like, oh, I don't really know who that is, or I heard that this person did this? Like that's kind of what you're going for. Or if somebody, if your tweet comes across somebody's For You page or whatever it's called on Twitter, are they going like, I don't want to see this crazy person? That kind of thing.
So,
Like, are you infamous or are you famous?
oh, that's a good one. It's a good play on words too. I would like to think that I am not infamous, but also not famous. I want to keep a low key profile. Might see. Maybe it's
No,
not
but
good
I
to be
think
popular.
I think too, like I don't personally wish to be famous either. I always say if I had to choose between like rich and famous, I'd rather be rich and anonymous. but But I think generally, like, if you just think that everyone who's ever like seen you on IRIAM, right? They at least know that you're on IRIAM. Maybe they don't know anything else about you. And so if they're like, oh, I wonder who I want to like reach out. What stream am I going to watch today? Like I did this with Zahn the other day. I was like, I'm looking for some people that I can chill out in their streams. Like, who do you suggest? Who are your friends? Who do you think would be chill with me just chilling in their stream and lurking? Because IRIAM has that thing right now where if you don't talk, people are like, you're a child. And so I think part of your reputation is that you're on somebody's list like that. Like I was very honored last week, Junie, who used to be on IRIAM, added me to a list of people that she thinks are very cozy streamers that she likes to watch. And I was like, oh, Junie. And so I think that's really that couple of ideas really encompasses your reputation. Like, what are people saying about you? If I'm going to Raz and I'm like, Raz, I think I want to do a collab. You and I should do a collab with this person. And then Raz goes, I don't think that I want to do that because I heard that they're always late to collabs, and that bothers me. I hate that. And so, like this is the kind of thing that you want to try to avoid because we all know each other and we're all in each other's pockets.
We got Freya joining us on the IRIAM chat for the first time. It's nice to see you. Talking about the 4 pillars of PR with Mycena's Cottage. Now you have 3 bullet points on the slideshow here. It says, are you reliable? Are you professional? And are you trustworthy? Would you say that that applies to me?
I would say so. Yeah, I would consider you, Browntul, very professional, very reliable. And I would say also that you're trustworthy. Personally, I know that you're trustworthy. I think it's hard to tell a person's trustworthiness if you haven't known them for a while. But I personally can vouch for your trustworthiness. But that's what you're looking for, right? You want to and you want to present yourself in a way that is truthful. So you don't want to lie and be like, I am very reliable, but then you're like not showing up to stuff or whatever. You just want to like actually embody having good qualities so that's the best way to build your reputation like organically instead of being like I am very famous and everyone should collab with me. You want to just be like I will show up on time and I will be nice to you sort of deal.
That's an honor coming from Icy. That's so inspirational.
You can very professional. You can't even DM him. That's how professional he is.
That's
He's like a
true.
company.
That is true. ACS joined us as well on IRIAM. Nice to see you. Yeah, that I guess this is a little bit of a tangent here, but I am one of the actually, what's the way I can say this? I'm one of the surprisingly rare streamers on IRIAM that have DMs closed to start.
Mhm.
I've realized that a lot of the IRIAM streamers when they start out, they want to make a lot of connections, and networking is a big part of streaming. That is very true. But for me, I feel like if I have my DMs closed until like I trust you enough or we have some sort of collaboration with each other that requires us to chat, and then I kind of monitor how that works as we say hi to Kodakazu on Irium, it's a lot more controlled and
Mhm.
you don't fall into situations where you get dragged into something on accident that does change your reputation. Is that right, Macy?
True, very true. And I think too, then you are sort of setting a precedent where like the interaction that we're having to begin with is professional, right? I think DMs lend themselves to a certain like familiarity that isn't necessarily there right at the beginning of an acquaintance. But having that closed be like, no, you have to email me. Now it's a business request, right? It's not like a oh how are you small talk thing, which I think is can be good because I think the barrier to entry kind of makes it so that only people who like are willing to cross that barrier and do the extra effort are probably people who are fairly professional and at least like motivated.
We got Hermes and Uncle Imp joining us on Irium as well for our PR chat. So our first pillar there, reputation, very, very important. What's the next pillar that we should talk about?
Um, you want to go across or do you want to go down? Originally, I had it go all the way down. Branding would be next, but I
Ah,
guess you could really go either way.
let's talk
Should have
about
made them all
branding then.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Okay.
branding and
So
how important branding is for
yeah,
being a
I
VTuber.
think especially for VTubers because you get to pick what you look like, right? You get to pick your appearance, you get to pick like your vibe, what you want to talk about on stream, what you want to focus on for your, lore, that kind of stuff. I think branding is really important because it helps people form a idea of you as an entity. So when people are like, "Oh, Browntul. Oh, the turtle. The only turtle on Irium. The turtle man on Irium." That is okay, obviously that's Browntul. But we're not going to mistake him for anybody else. And this is the problem that Zahn and I get now where we're both Mycena. So she gets hits meant for me and I get hits meant for her. And so we have to just make sure like no, she's blue and I'm not blue. um and so I think it's really important too and it sort of helps people have an understanding of what is okay in your streams, right? So if you sort of advertise yourself and your lore in a certain cadence, then that is what people are going to expect from you for stream. So I kind of have a very cozy sort of lore and very naturey. And so when you come to my stream, you can expect it to be, not very not safe for work most of the time. and pretty naturey. Like, we're talking about plants, we're talking about homesteading stuff, we're talking about nature, and we're generally doing education stuff. So, like, I think your branding is really important to set expectations and boundaries with your chatters and with other streamers. Because then, if you are not if you're not safe for work a lot of the time, then that sets an expectation where, like, if people want to collab with you, they need to know. Like, if you remember, Zara back in the day was very not safe for work. So anybody who's collabing with Zara would have to, like, no, Zara's not very safe for work. He's probably going to be not very safe for work if you collab. And is that the kind of collab you want to do? And so it goes back to your representation of yourself and your little bubble of forming of yourself, the idea of you.
We got Unknown Force joining us on IRIAM. Talk about some tea. So a big part on the slideshow that you provided us on the pillar branding is, what do people remember you for? Are you a cozy storyteller, chaotic gremlin, an educational creator? Well, I sound like an educational creator right now with you. But that last sentence that says, "Can someone describe your channel in one sentence?" That one is also really hard for me. Like, I say, I'm a gotcha gamer, a variety streamer, an esports host, and I have a better write-up somewhere in the Twitch sponsorship panel. But that part actually is very important, Mycena. Just being able to describe yourself in one sentence really helps you find a direction of where you want to go.
Yeah, and it's really good for sponsorships. If you ever want to get sponsorships or partnerships with companies, you're going to have to fill something out, and they're going to want that from you. So the more that, and you don't have to niche down. That's not what I mean by that. You don't have to be like the one thing guy, but, like, you have to have an idea of what you generally do, who you generally are.
We got Stapleon joining us, and Raz has joined us as well. Big fans of Mycena right there. I'm sure Mycena has a good reputation and good branding for y'all to appear. The two pillars.
The two pillars.
And thank you very much for the stars and follows, my friends. So that part, I agree, is a very big part. Just being able to figure out what your brand is will really help you set a direction on where you want to go. And I have set a branding and a reputation of being a say-so streamer. And say-so means family friendly, for those that are not familiar. I'm very family friendly. Mycena's not allowed to curse on the stream.
I'll do my best. I don't curse that much anyway.
All right, so we talked about the reputation pillar and the branding pillar. The next pillar on the list is relationships. Now, when I think of relationships, I'm thinking about dating, right? Mycena, we should be dating our viewers.
We should be dating all of our coworkers. Everyone on IRIAM should form a polycule. Oh, wait.
Oh. I don't think that's actually what you mean for legal reasons, Mycena. Is that so?
For legal reasons, don't do that. My advice is do the opposite of that.
Okay, well, then what does it mean? What does relationships mean, then?
So I think relationships it's a multifaceted thing, right? So, like, relationships can go anywhere from, like, me and my wife to people I just made, acquaintances. Those are all on the spectrum of relationship, right? And so what I think is important, that you sort of understand what you want, what you're willing to give to each level of relationship with you, right? And I think this is a problem that a lot of new streamers get into, where they get in too deep and too intimate with people they don't actually know. And then we see the inevitable blow up where somebody's cheating on somebody else, whatever. It's always what it is, right? And so I think it's really important to remember what is a professional relationship and what is a personal relationship. And so, like, Browntul and I have a professional relationship and we're friends. And that's fine. But Browntul and I are not like in each other's DMs sending nudes because that would be inappropriate.
That
And like
that's okay.
I'm
That's
not
not a good
sending
example either. I mean, I would never do that. I'm
right,
way
but
too say so for that.
but and then on the same side of it, I'm not sending huge personal paragraphs about like my bad day to an artist on VGen. It's the same sort of thing. There's boundaries in place that are different for every kind of person you're interacting with. So your fellow VTubers may have like I would tell Browntul about my bad day. I'd be like, Browntul, I had a really bad day at work today, and we could talk about it. But I wouldn't be like, hey, model artist on VGen, let me tell you about my bad day because we don't know each other. That would be weird. And I think a lot of the times with like internet relationships, those relationships get a little bit like those boundary lines get a little bit blurred. And where new VTubers, especially, I think, get into trouble is they are getting too close too fast and they don't realize, they don't remember, especially IRIAM, I think, creates a really sort of false sense of like closeness with people. They don't remember that these are people they met like a day ago. And so I think it's really important to keep your personal life personal and keep your public life public. And so, like, for me, I don't post a lot of personal stuff on Twitter. Like, so if I have a really bad day and I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst day ever. I hate my job. I want to quit. Like, whatever. Wom and I are fighting. I'm not going to put that on Twitter because that's personal business and Twitter is public. And I think that's where people get themselves into trouble because you're looking at like your sponsors, potential industry contacts. All those relationships can be soured by overdoing it, oversharing, over explaining, like leaning too hard on people. Like we just saw this morning, one of our Cozy Code girls received like this huge, like 10 paragraph long email about
Wow.
this random stranger's feelings, and it's inappropriate. And so I
Wow.
think, and I think that the problem is the internet kind of gives us a false sense of like, oh, we're all friends, we're all instant connection with each other, and you're plugged into it 24/7. So it creates a false intimacy that she does not know and did not ever, yeah, like literally a 10 paragraph email about his feelings about like the state of the world to a stranger on the internet. And so I think the internet creates a false sense of intimacy, and you need to remember that like this is, even if you don't want VTubing to be your full-time thing, it's still treat it like work. So I wouldn't go into my boss and tell my boss, here is like personal relationship problems between my wife and I, because it's inappropriate. And so you need to treat, or like if I don't have any coworkers, but if I had a coworker, I also wouldn't tell them. And so I think it's important to realize what this level of relationship is with each person that you interact with and what is appropriate for that. And especially take into account, like, are they your coworker, right? So like a VTuber, a fellow VTuber, that's a coworker, right? And like sponsors, industry contacts, that's kind of coworker, kind of boss. So like, again, you wouldn't tell them personal stuff. And like, just keep going with that. You need to find real life people in your real life or pay a therapist to tell all this personal stuff to, or get like a vent blog and never post it publicly. And I think people get into a lot of trouble when they overshare and like over get a little bit too in each other's DMs, a little bit too close, and especially in public. It's just not a good idea.
So we got Pepper Raven, Mika-san, and Rosalia joining us on the IRIAM side. We're talking about uh, VTuber PR, our nice collab as part of IRIAM X Elgato Week. And don't forget to ask questions in the IRIAM chat or the Twitch chat if you have any questions about PR of what we've talked about. Oh, wow, head pat. Thank you 2% for the head pat. And a double head pat, which means, well, I don't have Chippy Choppa, so take the air horn. Congratulations. 1-star fan badge. And that means you get, oh, and Asuki as well. I'm going to say the hours. Is that like 25 hours? What prompted this?
Dump all
Well,
my points.
I I guess I'm gonna have to draw a profile picture of Milk According to my incentive list, you see there on the screen on Twitch, 2,000 IRIAM points
I'm
leads
sure you'll do
to
great at drawing milk. So
milk.
easy to draw.
That's very exciting. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you join the Discord so that I can get it to you when the event is over. 2% milk. I got Sleepy Buffalo joining us as well for our PR stream. Well, as you can see, with these points, and now we're daily streamer. Okay, congratulations,
Yay! Daily
BrowntulStar,
streamer!
on being
Woo!
daily streamer, I guess. We're gonna
Got
lose
your
that
gay
in a
badge
day.
during gay month. This is amazing.
So thanks to the contributions from 2% Milk, we're now at 84,000 points. We're only 220,000 points away from first place and 20,000 points away from second. So we're in a pretty good shape right now. Nice badge. Thank you, Stay Leon, for the nice badge and 2%. So let's steer back on track here. No more hours for now. We're at the part where we're talking about the 4 pillars of PR. We talked about reputation, branding. We were on relationships right now, and you wrote on the slides. I'm gonna say it for our IRIAM audience. PR isn't just about viewers. It also affects fellow VTubers, artists, moderators, sponsors, and industry contacts. Well, the examples you mentioned, they affected other VTubers. Viewers
Mhm.
are trying to chat with VTubers, whether they should or not. As we got Ivan joining us on our stream for our PR collab. Nice to see you. And it's very, very, it's difficult because you feel like you have to be nice to them, but it becomes an open, slippery slope of, well, I want to be nice to everyone and I want to be their therapist when you're not supposed to be their therapist. Um, and you just ended up dragging yourself into things that you should not be in, and that
Mhm.
can be really bad. We say hi to Ruby here in the IRIAM chat. That can be really bad, Mycena, for your just for the long term mental health of yourself. Not even not even for your own doing. It's just because you're too nice.
Yeah, well, I think too, like a lot of VTubers, especially I feel like the Bond ladies fall into this trap a lot where they're really nice. They're just honestly really nice ladies, and they get like super uber attached to certain chatters, and the chatters take advantage of that, and then they get overwhelmed and they have to quit. So boundaries are good.
Mika-san here saying I use the Japanese corporal method, so that helps me. And actually, I'm not too familiar with what that
I'm not
means
sure what that
exactly,
means.
but
Does that mean your DMs are closed? You only
DM's
reply
closed,
to
good.
people in Japanese?
DMs being closed is good. That's what I do, as I talked about earlier in the stream. Well, let Mika-san explain a little bit more detail what it means. Because Mika-san's very well versed in the Japanese style, which can be very important. Very conservative, I would say. From what I know, I was with my work is with the IRIAM staff, who have been very, very nice with me. We did a wonderful collab together. That actually leads into your point about the industry contacts. The
Mhm.
fact that I have a good reputation and branding led me to have this relationship with the IRIAM staff, which they agreed to help me with my Valorant tournament.
Right,
So
exactly.
all those pillars kind of work together like that, Maisie. It's very interesting.
Exactly. And,
Mm.
I think your general reputation when it's good and it's sort of non-problematic, even if you aren't the biggest streamer in the world, you opportunities will open up for you just because companies want unproblematic people who aren't going to cause them issues, right? And so like I'm not like the biggest streamer ever, but again, IRIAM staff asked me specifically to come and do that meet and greet for that convention in what is it? Anime not Anime Atlanta, it was like in LA, I think. It's California somewhere, I don't know. But even though I wasn't like, oh my god, top earner on IRIAM, I got asked to do that just because I think I was sort of just like existing and being just like in my lane. ALA, yeah, that one.
Right, yeah, we did a ALA collab recently for IRIAM, so that's probably that one.
Mhm.
We have some questions here. We also got some others joining us. Don't forget, you can ask some questions about PR while we're here. Mika-san uh, put a clarification. Uh, it's it's a conservative method. It's just that Mika-san works with a lot of corporate Japanese companies outside of IRIAM. So, um, Mika-san with good relations with the industry needs to have good reputation and good branding. So that ties in very well. We also have a question from Stapleon. Um, and the question is, do you two have any tips on managing that the whole thing about I want to be friends to everybody without stretching yourself too thin. So I answered this question first. My DMs are closed. So I quite literally, you quite literally cannot contact me without emailing me first. Or if you're a streamer and it just happened to be the point where we need to collab, I don't really accept friend requests, to be honest, unless
Did I
I
email you
know you
first? I can't even
enough.
remember. It was so long ago. I'm gonna have to check my emails.
I don't think you've ever actually emailed me. We
No,
had
I don't
built a
think it.
relationship
Yeah, because we were
through.
in each other's streams a lot, so
Yeah, our DMs were the IRIAM streams, and then we eventually got to the point where we needed to do a an offline collab, I suppose, and we had to add each other at that point. But I felt comfortable enough doing so. So just my own policy. Say hello to our friends joining on Twitch and IRIAM here for our PR collab. I just keep things closed for my DMs, and a lot of the trolling stuff or the like, "Can I confide in you?" type of things, all that is gone quite instantly. Now, there is a con to this, right? You don't get to know people as easily because you're not in their DMs, but I feel like I have control over who I get to know by being able to go to other people's streams, at least for Irium, and that's kind of how that's solved. So it kind of solves it on its own. Hopefully that makes sense. Mycene, would you agree with that, or you have any uh, different approaches for yourself?
so for most of my time on Irium, my DMs were open, and I did have a lot of people DMing me, but usually people DM'd me for a specific purpose. And so I had the tracking documents and the marketing documents that I was sending out to new streamers if they wanted. And I so they would generally how it worked is they would reach out to me in some way and I'd be like, you can just DM me here and I'll send it to you. And then we sort of had that. And honestly, no one ever bothered me. So I didn't really have an issue with it. I think maybe if I was going to their streams more or something, but I sort of stuck to the same like 10 people streams of people that I was like sort of I don't know, just the streams that I enjoy the most. And so I didn't really have a problem of people being like trauma dumping it on me and stuff. But I think it's hard, especially on Irium, because I feel like Irium's success quotes success really relies on you having a relationship with your fellow streamers at this time just because it's a closed system. And so I would say if you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to only talk to like your top 5 people who you're like closest with and just like, you don't have to I think the internet especially like the modern age really creates this like sense of urgency where you feel like you have to get back to people like right away, but I'll let people sit on unread for like 3 or 4 days if I'm feeling overwhelmed. um if people say inappropriate shit to me, I will straight up tell them it's inappropriate and like I'll just like be like, "Hey, like don't talk about that with me. I'm not interested in that." But I think too like it really goes back to your reputation. If you have the reputation of someone who like doesn't really want to be involved in drama and like I have the reputation I'm married, so like don't come in my DMs with like dick pics and like flirting and all that. Like I'm not interested in that. I'm married. And so I think that it just goes back to that. Like if you have the correct reputation, people are probably not going to come to you with that because they know that you're not going to like respond well to it and they don't want to get in trouble.
We're gonna read a quick comment here from Mika-san. We're gonna have to speed up a little bit for our presentation. But Mika-san says here, moderation and network is very important, so you won't be a liability in the future for any companies you work with in the future. Being selective is important. It's very true. And Mycena and I would definitely agree with that, Mika-san.
Mhm.
So going to the next pillar here, our final one is prevention. We kind of talked about this a little bit. It says on your slides here, good PR prevents problems before they start. Think before posting, set boundaries, communicate clearly, and avoid posting while angry. And we got Tiffany joining us on Irium for our VTuber PR collab with Mycena. Well, what do you think about that? Prevention. You mentioned some
I
good
think this
points about
is
that. There's a lot
yeah,
of
I
things.
think this is probably one of the most important parts of PR. It's really hard to undo stuff. So
Mm.
if you cannot do it in the first place, so like if you post something heinous in public, people are gonna the internet's forever. People are gonna remember, they're gonna screenshot, they're gonna link it. It's on there forever. But if you just never do that, they can't screenshot it. And you know what I mean? And
That's
so
true.
it in general, the best PR you could do is shut up. Just don't don't say anything. Just when in doubt, don't post it. I see that like that trend that goes around every once in a while where they're like, post all your drafts, like your unhinged drafts, and post your VTubing opinion that's going to get you in trouble. Don't do that. Just don't participate in those trends. You don't have to do it. No one's holding a gun to your head. Don't post any of that stuff. It's just going to make people mad at you.
Right. So think before posting, and don't post when you're angry. If you are very, very angry, it will not go well for you. Even 5 years later, you might have made a joke 5 years ago, and then you have some sort of partnership, and then someone digs up your old
Yeah,
post
just
about when you were
don't
angry
do like
over
yeah, the
mushrooms.
vague blogging, all that stuff. Just don't do it. Leave it in the drafts forever. Delete it.
Right. So, once again, feel free to ask questions anytime in the Twitch chat or the IRIAM chat if you have any questions about PR in general, what we're talking about. You also see right here, communicate clearly or set boundaries. Now, in terms of communication, it seems like a lot of YouTubers really like it when you post many paragraphs. Is that something we should be doing? Whenever we write about something, we gotta write 10 paragraphs about it in one post?
Um, I don't know that that's the case. I think why say a lot of words when a couple words will do. I think sometimes people talk themselves into a hole where they're just piling, and it's too much, and then they've like undone the part that they said that was good.
Hmm.
Like you don't have to if you have to I think too like if you feel the need to like over explain yourself about something to like try to mitigate what you're doing, maybe just don't post that. Right? Like if you have to be like here's my opinion and then like 7 paragraphs underneath about why you think that this opinion might be controversial, maybe just don't post that. Maybe just don't send that to
Right.
anybody. Maybe just keep that inside. Not every thought you have has to go on the internet. You can just have that privately.
Now, Mika-san is commenting here that, um, it might be nice to post about something if you have a health issue or to share the hiatus. I think people do post different ways of how to announce a hiatus. Like some even do like announce a donathon on top of that. What are your thoughts on that?
Um I think for hiatuses and just in general, for me personally, I prefer to keep, if I'm having health issues, I prefer to keep it as vague and sort of private. I don't think that the internet needs to know my medical information. Like I'll HIPAA myself. I don't think it's appropriate to I had a situation where a collab partner was not feeling well and they went in to every single group chat we shared together to post that they were not feeling well to people that they had never spoken to before. And then when I was like, "Hey, can you stop doing that? It's making people uncomfortable." They were like, "It's essential people know what's going on with me." But it was like graphic, detailed medical information and like I don't think that that's appropriate. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's actually impossible to get this turtle in the fashion show. Actually,
oh
it's like
no, that's so sad.
it's like my face is like too wide, or it's always a fun one. We got some
That's
more
so
friends
sad.
joining us. Mephesis, Celeste, and Coffee Cat has joined us in the IRIAM chat, and thank you very much, Celeste, for your contributions here. So yes, as you said, Mycena, sometimes you don't really need to know what's wrong with your body,
I think you
but
can
if
just
you want to
say,
announce a
you're not
hiatus,
feeling well, you're not up for it, right? Like you don't
right?
have to go in like I don't need to know your exact medical condition and like you were in the hospital and this treatment and that. I think that's too much information and like your viewers, your fellow internet perceivers do not they're not entitled to that
Hmm.
information about you. You can just say, "I'm not feeling well, I'm not up for it." You don't have to go into all this. You don't have to give an excuse. Like this is you're not punching in. Like you don't have to there's no doctor's note needed for not going to VTubing class today. Like it's not necessary.
We got a quick comment here from Rosaldia on Twitch. Right here, pinned this message for us to see. Want to shout out that Discord is not private if there are hundreds of people in there. Please treat those spaces as public as well. And that is very important, right? Everyone can see what you say
Mhm.
on Discord. Even though it's an
Mhm.
invite only thing, that stuff is public. And
Yep.
what you
And
say will stay
screenshots
on
will be
there.
leaked.
Yes.
Inevitably screenshots will be leaked. We had at one point there was a an IRIAM streamers group, and at one point about 15 people doxed their faces in one of the chats in that group, and that group had screenshots leaked to viewers constantly, and I was freaking out because there's so many people dox themselves in there. It was crazy. And I think it's only a matter of time before that information makes its way around if it hasn't already.
So final comment,
Don't do that.
Mika-san agreeing here that vague health reasons, that's good. Just say thank you for spending time with them. See you in the future. Just keep it vague, but also keeping a communication with your community. So to wrap up the 4 pillars: reputation, branding, relationships, and prevention. Reputation, what people say about you when you're not in the room. Branding, what people remember you for. Relationships, which is about how you talk to others in your public sphere and private sphere for that matter. And prevention, preventing bad PR that you can control. Those 4 pillars are very important. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide, but feel free to ask any questions on Twitch or IRIAM whenever they come. Now, this one's a very exciting one. This slide says avoiding Twitter disasters. so, so it says
and this
here,
can be applied to anything, any public forum. I put Twitter, but it could be Discord or Reddit or whatever.
So it says here, before you hit post, ask yourself, what am I hoping to accomplish? Am I solving a problem? Am I venting? Am I looking for a validation? Is Twitter the right place for this? What do you mean by this?
So I think I was speaking with you and Raz and Zahn about this a couple weeks ago, where we were talking about vague posting, and I was saying the reason I don't end up vague posting is every time I type up a post, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm super annoyed about this. So, like, one of the things I don't like on Twitter is when drama's always happening and I have to look at it. I hate looking at drama on Twitter. And so for a couple weeks there in the new year, there was like a Google Doc like every 5 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to post on Twitter that I hate seeing Google Docs. And I'm like, but okay, but Mycena, what will you accomplish with this? Someone's going to write a Google Doc about how you hate Google Docs. That's dumb. You shouldn't do that. People who you don't like, right? People who will annoy you are going to come and talk to you on this post, and you're just going to get more riled up. It won't stop people from making Google Docs. The people who are making Google Docs are not reading your Twitter post. This Twitter post has no purpose except for venting. Therefore, I'm not going to post it. And I put it in drafts and I deleted it. And I just texted Raz, I hate this Google Docs stuff and I wish it would stop.
And so that's definitely something to think about. If you do post something, is there a value in you posting something or not? We got a lot of comments here on IRIAM discussing this. You know, things like seeing ridiculousness on Twitter is something that is not exciting for Symphony. Celeste has a comment that, you know, it could positively impact folks who may look up to you for guidance. And I think that's something that's like a reputation thing, right, Mycena? If you're someone that's like, oh, you're a figure of guidance, like you feel like you should post something, how do you kind of split between I'm posting this to help people and is it actually helping people? Because sometimes emotions will let us feel like everything we say is useful.
I think, first of all, for me personally, I don't think anyone's looking for my guidance on whether or not to write a Google Doc. I don't think anyone's like, let me check Mycena's Twitter to see if she said something about Google Docs before I make this Google Doc. But I think too, like, the people who are in this instance, let's say that the example is the people who are doing this thing, right? I don't think they care what I think, and I don't think they care what most people think. And I would argue that even if your idea is to be helpful, and I think I was talking with Zahn about this the other day also, is like people are worried that the reputation of IRIAM is that drama is always happening. There's always some relationship people like sniping at each other back and forth or whatever. It's just been a lot of drama in the new year. And they were like, well, like, how can we make it so that when you search IRIAM, this isn't the stuff that comes up? Like, this is always the stuff on Twitter that's trending about IRIAM. And I was like, well, like, the algorithm sees all you guys looking at it and commenting on it and then making your own posts about it and retweeting it and, like, you know, all that. And so the algorithm doesn't know that it's negative. It just sees that it's getting attention. And so your best bet is to ignore it. I call it the Amish shun method. If you're
Mm.
talking about it, you're just bringing more attention to it. And so I think if truly your object is to stop people from doing the thing, you posting about the thing is just giving the thing more attention and more traction. And in this case with the IRIAM reputation thing, I was like, the best thing to do is to post positive things about IRIAM, about how much you love it and or whatever, and have that stuff get traction and like, keep talking about that to flood the IRIAM tag with nice stuff and let the algorithm know that IRIAM is not only drama about polycules or whatever it was.
So I see you say here that sometimes the better audience is an IRL friend, a journal, a therapist. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. You also mentioned how not everything needs a public audience and that often it's better not to comment on drama. But the big thing that I'm looking at on the right side of your slide, and by the way, you can read these slides on our Twitch channel at BrowntulStar, it says the 24-hour rule. And how does that work, Mycena, the 24-hour rule?
So I think I see people using this for like purchases as well, where you add it to your cart and then you wait a week and you come back and see if you still want the thing. It's very similar to that.
Wait,
I
that
will
doesn't work
write a
for me.
post. I guess it depends on your shopping style, but like if you really feel that strongly about it, you can write a post and
Hour.
just draft it and then come back to it within 24 hours. The way the internet works, it might have blown over by then and you don't need to post it anymore. There might be no reason you won't, and your feelings, your negative feelings may have abated by then so that you don't feel like you have to post it anymore, because I think a lot of people who are reacting emotionally on Twitter are doing it in the moment because they have big feelings. They feel like they have to do something about it. But who don't do it in the moment, you may have a better, more reflective thing to say about it the next day.
Mm. We got Renaza, Star, and Luke joining us on IRIAM chat. And we got a lot of nice discussion. Avoiding Twitter disasters. Turns out it's a very big discussion. We love discussion. Please keep commenting and discussing among each other what you think about Mycena's advice here, because this is always something that's very important as an IRIAM community. For me, though, I'm just going to say that the cart thing does not work for me. I will put it in my cart and forget that it's in my cart. So then I'm not actually going to... I had to impulse buy it. Oh, I forget it.
But that's
So
that's the whole thing. Like if you it's to avoid impulse buying, because if you really want
yeah.
it, you'll remember it in a week, right? So that's the whole point.
And speaking of which, you actually write it right here. The internet rewards impulsive posting in the short term, but your reputation benefits from thoughtful posting in the long term. And so so basically after you wait 24 hours, is there a situation where you feel like yes, you would want to share your thoughts on something, but and what defines that as thoughtful versus impulsive or maybe emotional?
I think if you've waited the 24 hours and you've calmed down and you've asked yourself, what am I hoping to accomplish with this post? And you think that your post is going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, then go ahead and post it. I personally think, for me, I will most of the time choose not to comment on stuff because what I'm hoping to accomplish will not be accomplished by what I'm posting. And
Mhm.
so I just don't feel like it's worth my time to have, like, I don't debate on Twitter with people. So if I'm like, I
Holla.
really, think that you guys should stop posting drama, and people are like, no, I love drama, I'm gonna keep posting it. I'm not gonna. I have no interest in debating with internet people. So that will not be a useful post for me to post. And so usually within 24 hours, I've calmed down. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
And so Celeste writing here, handling private situations privately is, if possible, is important. Never be afraid to be loud in situations. And, maybe it comes down to that. Like, you feel like this is something that if you want to accomplish, the meaning of accomplishing something with the post, depending on what your reputation is or kind of the need that you have, it varies across people. So it's something to think about for sure. Um, when you post something, is it going to accomplish what you intend to accomplish. And so I think this is a very
Celeste
interesting
likes to
slide.
debate with internet people more than I do, so she's always
That's
going to
true.
be up for
So
it more than me. I just don't. I have a job that's like very debating all day. So by the time I get home, I don't want to do it anymore.
yeah, and Celeste,
I'm tired.
of course, Celeste is second place in the Elgato event right now, and she's very passionate, and it's always good to have passionate people on IRIAM. So that's avoiding Twitter disasters. And we have one more slide from you, Mycena. Public drama has long-term consequences. So before you go public, think long-term. Tell us more about what you have here on the slide.
So I think it, especially if what you're trying to accomplish with your VTubing is to one day, or at some point, collaborate with a corporate and identity, a corporate entity, or get sponsorships, that kind of thing. I think it's really important that you recognize that they're gonna Google you when a company is gonna think about investing in you and partnering with you and making you the face of something. They're gonna Google you. And so even if something has happened with you, 5 years ago, that might still come up when they research you. And that might affect your ability to have those opportunities down the road. And so while it may feel really nice to like get in the last word and like, oh, like defend yourself or whatever in the moment, that could potentially affect your ability to have those opportunities in the future. And so you just need to think about, is it more important that I win this argument today? Or is it more important? And this is going to be individual to you. It's totally up to you what your objectives are with your VTubing. Totally up to the individual. Maybe you really like to argue on the internet. Maybe you feel very passionate about this one specific issue and you want to talk about it all the time. Fine. Do what you want, because this is every person's VTubing journey is different. But you just need to be aware of what you're doing so that you don't, 5 years down the road, you're applying for something and you get sad that you can't get it because the company is like, we Googled you and it doesn't look great.
They probably find the Google Docs when they Google you.
Yeah, I think that's what come up.
Sorry, I just had to say that. It seems to make sense. We also have Harasagi joining us on the IRIAM stream. It's nice to see you. We got a question from Mephistus. What kind of job lets you debate all day?
I work in sales.
Fair enough. You gotta stop them from refunding, right?
Yeah, I end up talking about a lot. So I work with high net worth individuals, and high net worth individuals have crazy questions like, does my life insurance cover me if I get eaten by a polar bear? So
That is
that's my day
important.
to day. And it can be very exhausting. So by the time I'm home, I want to do like silly little guy stuff. I don't want to be arguing with people on the internet. I'm not interested in that.
Good to know. Hopefully that answers Mephistus' question there in a very funny way. So going back to the slides here, you write that many creators focus on winning an argument, getting validation, telling their side, getting the last word. But future viewers, collaborators, and sponsors may see something different. These situations often backfire. Mika-san mentioning in the chat about how it's like working with Japanese companies and how they take defamation very seriously. So even if you feel justified, it usually is better to disengage. And that you should resolve them privately when possible. And you wrote a couple things of how to not solve things privately. Can you describe that to me, Mycena?
Okay, so I think we have seen some great examples on IRIAM of not resolving things privately. I think Google Doc #1, don't do that. I think sharing screenshots of private DMs is also not great. Or like private discords, also not fantastic. Um, Talking about it on live stream. So like, remember when we had last year the person who had applied to IRIAM and gotten in, but it turned out that they were very anti-LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
We're
remember during
almost a
that
year to
time,
the day.
every person went live and was like, "This is the worst. Staff should be ashamed of themselves," and like, "Meh, meh, 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 meh." And I just don't think that it was appropriate to talk badly about staff 24/7 on IRIAM for that like weekend that they were working on resolving that issue. And I think it created a very negative atmosphere for people who just wanted to watch streams on IRIAM that weekend and didn't necessarily know what was going on. Um, and so I think just generally, if you have a problem with someone, it is probably better to resolve that with them privately than blast it all over social, because most issues are two-sided or multifaceted, right? And so you may feel like you're really in the right and you haven't done anything wrong, and they probably feel differently. And you don't need to put both sides out there for the public opinion to weigh the answer and figure out who's in the right. You don't really need to do it that way. You can just agree to disagree and be like, we're actually just not going to talk anymore, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to be friends with everybody. You can just say simply like, I think this is where our relationship ends. I don't think we should hang out anymore. And like, we don't have to do this whole like blasting social media everywhere and having like 6-hour live streams being like, here's a list of all the wrongs they've done to me, all that. Like, yeah, like if the problem happened privately, then I think the solution should also happen privately, especially for stuff that's just you disagreeing about things, or like your personal relationship just having issues. A personal relationship is personal for a reason, and I don't think it needs to be rehashed in public. I think it's inappropriate, and I don't think it's really what sponsors are looking for.
We got a couple of people joining us on Twitch and IRIAM. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. We're about to wrap up our first portion, so we'll spend some time answering some questions there. Mika-san writing about how using the block button can be very important to help you not engage with people, and especially if, like you said, Mycena, you're talking to a wall essentially, and it's not effective. And we have Rosaldia on Twitch saying that ultimately it's not illegal for someone to be mean to you, and that it's also not something that everyone needs to know, especially if the unkindness happened privately. And so I always like to say that private things are meant to be private, and hopefully that you deal with them in private. Unfortunately, some things do become public, and when they're public, they're public. But hopefully it really doesn't come down to that, because everyone is a professional, and as adults you can solve problems privately. I know Mycena is very big on that, and this is the reason why Mycena trusts me when we're talking about the trust factor. Is Browntul trustworthy? Seems like I am a little trustworthy, isn't that right? So right. So let's go ahead and ask some questions. Feel free to ask them right now. And if we forget that to read the questions, I know the IRIAM chat's a little small. Please repeat the question. Just to go back, I'm gonna actually show the 4 pillars of PR on the screen, so y'all can see that. As you ask these questions: reputation, branding, relationships, and prevention are the 4 pillars of PR. So feel free to ask your questions for those that are joining in on Twitch and IRIAM. We have a question from Briar Brightsoul on Twitch. You've mentioned that it's okay not being friends with everyone, but how does one deal with others who think they're entitled to being your friend and taking your time? What do you think, Mycena?
I would, I guess I would like some more information of that. I'm not sure I understand the situation there. Is it that they're like DMing you all the time, being like, "Why aren't you answering?" Yeah. So if you could elaborate on that a little bit, I think I could answer better.
Rosadia says on Twitch, if you bring something to the public town square, no one has to respond to you privately. If you are the first person to bring something to the world, I expect to be responded to in kind, which is true. That's how the engagement
Yep,
goes.
I think
Um,
that's a fair thing to say.
we have a question from Stapleon on IRIAM. What's the best way to manage that? What are we managing? What if the
But
other party acts poorly and makes it public? How do you handle that?
um, I think you can, especially and like just to your community. I think you can just make a statement to your part of the community. So like if I just made a statement to my Discord or something, or somebody just made one single Twitter post like, here's what's happening. This is my piece. But I think you just need to realize that the more you talk about it, the more, first of all, the more ammo you're giving for them to keep talking about it. And second of all, the more sort of information you put out there, the more people are going to pick into it and start to like do their like detective research mode, where they want like people who weren't involved will come and try to figure out what happened and get all the details, because people love drama. We all love it. Like we all love to play detective for certain situations. And so I think a lot of the time the 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 instinct is that you want to overshare and like meet every allegation with an explanation, and I think that's the wrong way to go. I think a blanket statement of whatever it needs to be, an apology or an explanation of your understanding of the situation, and just say like, that's it, that I don't want to talk about it anymore. And then for me, I will not engage with them any further. And I am very liberal with the block button. If you just annoy me, I will block you, because I want to live my life peacefully. And I don't I don't want to be arguing. I don't want to see negative stuff about me. So if you're like being mean, I'm just blocking you. Like, I'm not a public figure. I'm not the president of the United States. I don't, it's not my job to enforce free speech to people. They can do free speech in their corner of the internet and not like where I'm at.
Okay, we're gonna get the clarification from Briar. I get the fun questions, but we're short on time, so I want to make sure we have questions that are on topic, if possible. So just to rehash what Briar was saying, I'm gonna pin it on the screen for our or we can't pin it on the stream anymore. But we can do this. We'll pin this part. So Briar was asking about how you deal with others who are being entitled to being a friend, and clarification that they expect you in your streams 24/7 and act overly familiar with you when you don't know each other. So like reciprocating. Like if you get to know a streamer and then it like reciprocates to like you joined my
Yeah.
stream, I better join your
This
stream in
isn't
response to
this isn't
support
like
you.
a this isn't like an MLM. We don't all have to be watching each other 24/7, you know? And I think it's not a friendship move to be like, why aren't you in my stream? Because Raz never comes to my streams.
Oh, take that, Raz.
Raz never comes to my streams because my streams are at 6 in the morning. And so, like, if I expected all my friends, if I said, you're not my friend if you don't come to my stream, Raz and I would not be friends anymore. And so I think,
uh,
too, that sounds less like they want to be your friend and more like they just want to, like, make a industry connection kind of, but they're going about it in a way that's very heavy-handed. And so I would just say that you're busy. I would just say like, unfortunately, I just don't have the bandwidth for that. And like like it's unrealistic for someone to think that you're going to be in every single stream.
mm,
Uh and I think you just need to set the boundary, and you can do it gently. Like you can just be like, actually, I have other plans during that time, so I'm not able to do it.
mm.
Sorry. And they might stop coming to your stream, and that's fine. I think that weeds themselves out there.
Okay, so thank you everyone for asking questions to Mycena's Cottage. We're gonna go to our next section now, but please feel free to save your questions as we go to this next segment, and we'll also have a portion at the end where if we do have time, you'll be able to ask additional questions. So this is not in the slides, but the one thing I do want to mention that I think is pretty relevant here, Myce, is that IRIAM did announce their off-kite booth very recently, and that IRIAM streamers can apply, and this is not just founding streamers, early access streamers, and viewers can apply for
Mhm.
some of the activities there. And I found it really funny that there was a lot of posts about like staff isn't treating me well, and then they post about it, and now they love staff. And so
Yeah,
it just makes me think, well, what's your reputation like at this point,
right.
and your
And you think
relationship
staff
with
isn't seeing
Ethereum?
that? You think staff doesn't see that? Staff sees that.
And so that's very easy to prevent. I know. I feel like once you quit Irium, then maybe you will feel like you can complain, but it's not going to affect your relationship with Irium. That's burned. right? But if you're
Yeah, and
on
I think
IRIAM,
honestly, like, there's
like
not even any real reason to complain after you quit. I mean, like, you just like it's okay. Like, you can just like. I think there's a difference between like criticism, like constructive criticism, and just complaining and like sour grapes about it. And I think that the constructive criticism is allowable. Sour grapes is just kind of mean and pointless.
mm. So just be careful if you know it's good to love the platform and critique the platform to make the platform better, but don't make it look like you are starting a war with staff if you actually do like Irium. Because when the opportunity comes and you can be on that robot at Offkai and suddenly you change your attitude and you love Irium, it's too late. It's already on the internet. And so that is going to lead to this next slide about Elgato. Turns out Elgato, who is a sponsor of this event on Irium, also has a partner slash ambassador program. So imagine if I just hated Elgato the entire week and I was like, Elgato better give me a stream deck for being in third place, but they don't, and now I hate Elgato, then they're going to remember that forever. but um, but I've built a relationship with Elgato over the past 2 to 3 years, and even got to go to some of their in-person events, and it has been a wonderful experience. And I got to talk to a lot of staff members there, and even the founding streamer that works there, who really likes what I'm doing and has been very supportive in helping me get some tips on how to set up the stream to kind of emulate how Elgato does their streams. Here on the Twitch stream, you can see the website. Right now, the application is closed to join the partner and ambassador program, but they will randomly open, and you would only have like a week to apply because so many people apply and it's closed for another 2 years, 3 years, maybe more. Right now it's 2 years and counting. So that's something that you want to look out for. If you want to partner with Elgato, you can be an ambassador for Elgato. You can do other things like this. I mean, this is high-key an advertisement, haha. But like, do stuff like this, build your portfolio, show how much you love Elgato, and have good PR, and that can lead you somewhere. So, as I mentioned in the very first stream of the week, I got my start with my relationship with Elgato before I saw a tweet about it, but this was one of my first interactions with the staff members. This is Miguel Lozada, who works with partnerships at Elgato, and when they opened the apps back in December 3rd of 2024, as I say hello to Dazizi and Mycena Zahn. Oh, look, your friend is here, Mycena Zahn and Mycena's
I
Cottage.
see.
Now we can complain about how confusing it is. Ah, wow, wow, wow.
Spicy,
um,
aka the only and best and superior and also OG mushroom on Irium.
yeah. Take care to Mika-san, who's leaving now. Nice to see you. Uh, Zahn is currently flustered. I think Zahn's been flustered all day today. And we're not going to talk about the stream earlier today. It is not appropriate for this collaboration. But it was a very interesting stream. But talking about this right here, Miguel has some words. And let's listen to what Miguel has to say in this video right now. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
What's up, Twitter? My name is Miguel Lozada, and I am the Partnerships Director at Elgato. I'm here to give you 3 tips on what to do when applying to partnerships with any brand. Tip number 1. When applying to a partnership, have a plan. Think out your approach. Why do you want to work with this company? Show some examples of content that you have in mind that would do well and should be considered. What do you want to do in this partnership? What do you expect in return from the company that you're applying a partnership with? Tip number 2. Always include all your social media links and take this time to make sure your information is current on all your profiles, like emails address, locations, up-to-date companies in your bios, and links.
Like gumball machine.
Tip number 3, remember, you aren't the only creator probably wanting to work with a company you reach out to. Take the time and make your application different. Maybe it's a 60-second video that you make personally to the brand, or highlight a piece of content that featured the brand in the past you're applying to and could be something you build and do more in the future. Feel free to ask any questions you may have down below, and we'll get back to a few.
There you go. You said there was a pinball machine back there?
Looks like there's a gumball machine next to that head thing.
This, I think that might be. We're gonna have to ask Miguel about this one from 2 years
Kind of
ago.
looks like a gumball machine, right?
It looks nice. Yeah, Miguel's got a lot of props and also is very passionate about a lot of different interests. So he's a really cool person. So, what do you think about that? So Miguel literally made a post saying the apps are open, but here are some tips on how to apply for my company and any company. And he was mentioning show passion about the company, why you can be an ambassador for it, update your links. What do you think about his words?
I think it's really nice that they're kind of letting you know what they're looking for. Just to, and I'm sure that they would prefer to get applicants who are passionate about their products rather than people who are just like, I like money and free stuff. And so I think this is interesting. And yeah, I'm sure they're based off of what you said, they get like a lot of applications so that they haven't even opened it in 2 years. I imagine this is also them trying to weed out people who aren't filling things in correctly.
And you can even see right here in the response, with the thousands of youth showing interest in applying, considerations have come to a close. And this was December 9th of 2024. So only 6 days have passed since they literally opened the apps and they had to close it. And it hasn't been open since. And there's only so many people that can be partner or ambassador, for that matter. So it's important to be ready and to stay ready. If I really, really like Elgato, I got to stay ready with this special week called IRIAM X Elgato Week, hosted by BrowntulStar's, and throw that into the application when the time comes. And also show my interest with all the different Elgato stuff that I've shown in the earlier streams.
Like, look, I have 20 hours of streaming about how much I love your products. For free, you didn't even pay me for that. Think of what I could do if you were paying me.
So I did reach out to Miguel. I didn't have much content, but I made a tweet. And this is way back then. This is actually a tweet from 2023, when he posted. This was the one before 2024. And I shared some images of the mobile product as well as my green screen, which high-key work gave to me. It's a nice green screen. I'll admit that. Very, very green. And Miguel saw this. He said, well, listen, I know you're a small streamer. Well, this is paraphrasing, by the way. I don't know exactly what he said. I'll have to look back at it. But he basically said that, well, you clearly love our products. Let me get you set up if you're down. And I filled out a list of items that I think might be important. And as we see some friends joining us on IRIAM talking about PR right now, you can see here on the Twitch live stream, I got some gifts. And Miguel sent over a Stream Deck, an HD60X, which we talked about yesterday. And then we had a couple of other products as well. The face cam was something that I got a little later from doing an in-person event with Elgato. But this was a good start to my journey with Elgato, and it just took me to basically cold email them. I know that emailing is not as popular now, so I guess I cold tweeted him, and he saw attention on it, and it has led to much better live streams on the esports side of things for me. It's been very, very effective, and now I have a whole army of Stream Decks. So that's super fantastic. You saw this slide before. Oh my god, face reveal. So this is me working for Call of Duty. For those that don't know, I work for Call of Duty on a contract basis every year to showcase the newest Call of Duty game. And you can see here that these computers and keyboards are And the microphone too is powered by Corsair and Elgato. You see the logo there on the PC. And they were even at TwitchCon where I got to talk with the staff even more. And they gave me a little banner as well, or the ribbons that you put on the name tags. And so I still have that ribbon today. It's really awesome. So in addition to that video, they also have this slide here. They have an FAQ on literally how to apply for their sponsorship when the time comes. And Mycena hasn't seen this before. I wanted to do this little activity with her to kind of read through this and see, are we prepared for this? Is BrowntulStar ready to apply for an Elgato sponsorship?
Okay,
So,
we're ready.
For our IRIAM audience, we're going to read this. What are Elgato's sponsorship requirements? As much as we would love to sponsor everyone, we have to focus on working with the best personalities or teams that fit our brand and vision. We choose who we sponsor from a variety of factors, including channel size, content type, online persona, target audience, and more. We know it's not fair to judge an individual or team solely on numbers, so we handle all sponsorship requests on a case-by-case basis. So I read this paragraph, and if Mycena were going to apply for Elgato, we got some nice follows joining in from Twitch and IRIAM. What do you think is your first thought process when you see this? Like best personality, channel size, like what are you going to include in your application?
I mean, my channel is not big, and so I think I would have to target a different metric of being like, out of this many followers I have, I consistently have this percentage that actually show up, because obviously you can have as many followers as you want. If nobody actually comes to your stream, then you're not actually advertising to anybody. And so your ROI on your actual, like that metric, I think is potentially something to highlight if you have a good ROI on your stuff. To be like, hey, actually, I know that I'm smaller, but I have really good ROI on my stuff. My chatters are really invested in me. They're really active in my community, and so I actually am a great fit for you.
And we got a couple others joining us on our IRIAM side. Sushi Duck is here, Australia is here, talking about PR with Mycena's Cottage. We're looking at the Elgato sponsorship requirements, and I don't think people really know what ROI is. That's the return on investment, right?
Right. And so when I say ROI, what I mean is for somebody who has, like, let's say you have 1,000 people who follow you on whatever platform you stream on, right? And then when you go live, you have 10 people who actually show up and watch you, like, pretty much every time. That's your average viewer count is 10. I would argue that someone who only has 100 people, but they have 50 people show up out of that 100, they have a much better, even though their audience technically, or let's say you're both at 50, right? You have one person has 1,000 followers and 50 people show up to their stream. The other person has 100 followers and 50 people show up to their stream. I would argue that the smaller streamer actually has a much better turnout rate, a much more involved and active audience than the person who has 1,000. Because at the end of the day, I think what a lot of these sponsorships and partnerships are after is they're after selling stuff, right? Like they want to have your people buy their product. And so if you only have, 5% of your people are actively engaged in what you're doing versus 50% of your people are actively engaged in what you're doing, I think that you could argue, and it's just like an interview, right? Like you have to be able to sell yourself a bit about it. But I think you could argue like, hey, like I am just beginning my journey. I don't have a large audience, but I am really good at creating, an active community who's very invested in what I'm doing. And so I can leverage that or whatever you want to do.
All right. So let's go ahead and look a little deeper into this slide. There's actually 2 pages to this, but on the bottom of the first page, it actually tells you a literal template. And so when a company tells you a template on what you should put in your presentation, how closely do you follow this and how much do you want to make it like kind of your own?
I think you definitely want to hit on everything they're asking for, but what you focus on for the bulk of your application is going to depend on what you want to highlight, like your strengths. Obviously, you want to go into more depth on the stuff that you feel like you can really talk up about yourself versus stuff like if you're like, the size of your audience is not so good, then maybe just leave that as a smaller piece of the puzzle. Though I'm wondering if they do like a Google Doc last time, or were people just sending them like Word documents or something? How were people
Um,
submitting this last time?
so it was like well, I can't recall exactly. I don't want to misinform everyone, but there was
Yeah,
a
I'm wondering if it was
process.
like a Google form or if it was like you could just like send in an application.
There is a process where you'd have to complete some details on their websites. I will say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the
Yeah,
exact
because
details of it, but and it could change. Obviously, 2 years from now, it could be different. But
but I
um,
I think the main parts that if I was going to apply for this, the main parts that I would really want to focus on would be why would you want to partner with them and what kind of value can you provide to them? Because I think those are probably very key pieces to whether or not you get accepted. If you can really sell yourself on those two pieces, then you have a pretty good shot.
so just to summarize the bullet points, Elgato rather is asking like, who are you? What's your org? What kind of content you produce? Your size of audience, platforms you play on, stream on, your sponsorships, and return of what do you want to see in return from Elgato? Like how good is your partnership? Not just you to Elgato, but also Elgato to you. That's also a big point that I think people don't think about. It's all just like one directional, not really bi-directional. And then if you have any social links, that can be something that, of course, the numbers in this case kind of matter, but it's good to include that you have reach in multiple places, especially in this day and age. So that's something that I would have to include in my application to Elgato if they open the applications right there. So feel free to ask any questions about PR or the Elgato process in the chat on Twitch and IRIAM if you'd like. I'm going to get to the questions in a bit. We have a second page. Elgato is nice enough to literally ask the question of what should you think about before submitting. So let's go ahead and react to this together. The big text in bold is be brief and concise.
Mhm,
Reading through pages of text will unfortunately make things much more difficult for us to read and review, and short paragraphs and bullet points are your friends. So,
mhm,
very interesting. We just talked about this earlier, Mycena, about writing a lot on Twitter. But what about in this
mhm.
case? We're applying for something, and it seems like we have all this experience. Shouldn't we be writing a lot? Why do we have to narrow it down to something so small?
I think you need to think about it from their end. It says they got thousands of applications. Some poor person has to sit and read 1,000 applications. If they're reading 1,000 applications and they're trying to compare them like box to box, like let's say they have the box that says like, why do you want to do this? And they're comparing you with 5 other applications. If the other 4 people have concise bullet points that are like, I would like to do this for the top, my top 3 reasons for doing this in bullet points. Really easy to read, really easy to tease that out. And you have 4 paragraphs waxing on, they're not going to read that. That's like a TLDR situation. you kind of you kind of put yourself out of the running there. You just have to think that like a human being is going to have to look at this and figure out what you're talking about. So the easiest clearest way you can be in this case would definitely be to be brief and concise like they're saying.
It also says here that if you don't have a YouTube or Twitch channel set up, it might be best that you build that out. In other words, they're telling you to make one. And so if you
Well,
don't have one,
why would you
hmm,
want to be partners with this company that produces stuff for streaming if you don't stream? Like what
hmm,
would be the purpose of that, I guess?
right. And so they're telling you right there, if you want Elgato stuff but you don't even stream, um, well, they may update it now. They're starting to target more portable setups and IRL setups. So
Mm.
this is still very focused on gaming, but let's say we were applying for a gaming sponsorship, then yeah, of course you need to stream. Otherwise, you can't show off how your stream deck works. Um, a big point here. It says professionalism. Professionalism, correct spelling, and proper grammar all go a long way. They are looking for that. I think this also applies for when you apply for IRIAM as a streamer. I
I
mean,
would say so, yeah.
you don't use proper grammar, then you don't sound like you can handle yourself. Isn't that right?
Well, and I think you sound young, and it just makes you seem like, did this person, is this person like okay? Are they 18 plus? But then also it just shows it's sort of disrespectful to be like, this person didn't even doesn't even care about this enough to put this through spell check or like read it over before they put it in here. It just shows that you're kind of communicating to them that you don't really care that much about this. Because if you really cared about it, you would take the time to make it nice and make it like legible for them.
And so, I mean, nowadays we can just type out our responses, but even then, spell check is there, so you better use it and make it nice. It also says here, tell you what the value of Elgato, what the value is to Elgato Gaming, and why the content is special, and also that their team is small. They review everything. You may not hear back. I think people think, oh, I deserve to be heard back from my response, but the truth is, if something is really popular, you probably won't hear back. You either got it or you don't. And when it happens, as it says here, people do get discouraged. You know, what would you say to people, Mycena, that are discouraged that like their proposal didn't go through? Should we throw a fit on Twitter, or should we think about
No, I
why
don't think that's a good idea. Well,
why
because I
we
think
didn't
if
succeed?
you go on like a long rant, like let's say my first instinct is to go on Twitter and be like, these people suck. They never got back to me. They're so inconsiderate. Well, then now you've basically taken yourself out of the running if they ever open it again. Because they're gonna be like, this person acted crazy over like not really that big of a deal. And I think you just need to realize it's not personal, right? These people don't know you. They're not saying like, actually, I hate Browntul specifically, and so I'm not going to email him back. Like, that's not what it's about. They don't know you. It's not personal. It's a business. And it sounds like they have a really small team that's trying to deal with being inundated with thousands of things. It's just not realistic or possible or reasonable to ask them to individually to reply to thousands of people. It's not a good use of their time. They're a business. They need to make money, and so I think you just need to like, this is one of those things like if this is the sort of thing that makes you upset, then you need to have an IRL outlet for that upsetness. So if I was upsetting spaghetti about something like that, I would talk to my wife about it, or I would talk to Raz about it, or I would talk to my therapy group about it and be like, it really sucks that I never heard back from them. I'm really disappointed. And you're allowed to be disappointed. It's okay to be upset. That's a very human way to be. It's okay to be like, I'm sad I didn't get this opportunity. That's totally reasonable. I think just you can't control like your feelings about it, but you can control your actions about it. And so you're allowed to be sad, but you shouldn't use that sadness to like go and be mean to anybody else, including the staff of companies that rejected you.
All right, so in other words, we can take the pillars that we've learned earlier, show on the screen again. When we apply for the Elgato Partnership and Ambassador Program, what is our reputation when we're applying? Are we professional? Do we use good spell check? Are we trustworthy? What about our branding, the ROI, the reach that we have? Do we have a good presence on different platforms? And do people remember us for the right things? Can we describe our channel for the first time? Our relationships with people. And in this case, you can have a good relationship with the Elgato staff. They stream every week on the Elgato Twitch channel and YouTube channel. So you can make a good rapport with them. And prevention. Don't say bad things about Elgato. I love Elgato. It's the best product ever. So, don't say bad things. I think all of that kind of ties in. Isn't that right, Mycena?
Yeah, I would say so.
So
that's why they're the pillars, because everything rests on them.
Exactly. A good foundation. I mean, it takes 4 pillars to make a table, right? In theory.
True.
Okay, let's not think too thick about that. Let's just say it works. It does work like that, okay? Don't think too hard. I know I'm going to get some questions about this. A table does need 4 legs. Anyway, so you can apply for the program. I do have a question, I believe earlier from Symphony, that we queued. Can you address how to find the ambassador programs or just searching on your own? That in general, okay, I can talk about Elgato. Follow Elgato. Elgato is literally at Elgato on most social media platforms, and they will post about it if you want to apply for that. IRIAM, they post about it on their Twitter the most, especially the one about the off-kai thing, which apparently people didn't really look at, and then they got surprised that the deadline has passed. You got to keep in touch with those posts
Yep.
that IRIAM posts,
Yep.
especially knowing that
the
they're big
alert
on
on for
Twitter.
IRIAM, like US for IRIAM stuff, and also you can the banner sometimes will have information on the app itself, so you might get into the habit of checking that when you log in. I would say too, if I was looking for stuff that wasn't on IRIAM and wasn't Elgato, I'd probably check with my senpais first. Like I would check in. I know a bunch of people who've been streaming for like 5 years plus, and so I would check in with them and be like, who like. If I was interested in this, what should I do? I think relying on people who have a little bit more experience on the internet than you, especially in like VTubing space, because it's kind of its own animal, is a good way to start.
And for me, I know that there's a lot of resources out there. I'm right now. I'm thinking in my head whether I should name the one I endorse. I probably shouldn't because of reasons, but they have a very nice master list. And I got to chat with them in person, kind of ask for advice on how you reach out to sponsors, and they had apparently gone the same inquiry from others, and they made this nice list online, and you can probably look it up on Google. They have a list of companies that have good endorsements from many creators, and then of course do your due diligence on them. That's a different story, but you find a one that you feel like you align with, you just go and apply for them. So you probably hear a lot of people, man, this is so hard because I don't want to accidentally endorse something. So I'll just leave it at that. There's many companies other than IRIAM and Elgato that you can apply for, just for learning from those that came before you, or just kind of browsing around your other creators who are they sponsored by. How do you get your sponsorship through that as well?
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, ask around because like these companies have their own PR reputations among people who've worked with them before, so people will kind of know if they're not that good to work with, and you can usually find out a lot just by asking around in the circles. Like if you ask most of the people on IRIAM, they'll probably give you a good reference.
Okay, so I'm gonna show the pillars again, and we're gonna do some open questions. We'll do some questions for about 10 minutes or so before we go to our final rapid fire question, which is or activity, which I think will be very exciting. And you want to be on Twitch to see that last activity.
This is what Browntul is most excited about.
So you have any questions that you want to ask? If we miss any questions, please repost the questions. Ideally, we want to prioritize the questions about PR or Elgato. But if we don't have that many questions, we'll do some fun ones. As a reminder, reputation, branding, relationships, and prevention are the 4 pillars of PR presented by Mycena's Cottage, which I very much align with, and things that I guess subconsciously I follow myself. I want to make sure I'm a professional say-so streamer that never writes Google Docs, and that you can go to BrowntulStar.com for more information. All that is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't have to like be muttering the 4 pillars of PR under your breath at all times. Just generally acting like a decent person who's like doing their best is going to get you pretty far. Like approaching things with honest, open communication is probably going to get you pretty far. And just like being chill. Try not to be too high strung. Most of the time it's not that serious. I think at the end of the day we all need to remember it's only the internet.
We got Gato joining us on the IRIAM side. Feel free to ask any questions about VTuber PR or Elgato's program, IRIAM's program, as well as an early access streamer. We're taking questions right now for our guest, Mycena's Cottage, who has many years of experience as a content creator across multiple platforms. It's so nice to have you here to share your wisdom. We had some comments about people debating on how tables work. I started that debate on accident. Okay, we'll scroll backwards. I know
It's
we
like when
had
I started the uranium eating trend on IRIAM by accident. That
You
was not
did.
intentional.
You did. That was crazy. We did have a fun question from Mephistus. If Mephistus says, "Don't think about pink elephants," what is the first thing you think about, Mycena?
Yeah, well, this is like a saying, right? And so like I think that was in reference to be like when you vague post, you're automatically drawing people's attention to what you're trying to like vague post about
Mm-hmm.
because you're bringing it to the forefront of people's minds. So even if you're like somebody just did something to me, people are going to be digging like who have they unfollowed recently? Who did they recently collab with? Like you're just creating you're creating intrigue more than you're helping, I think.
Well, is a hot dog a sandwich though?
Despite what the trader Claire says, it is in fact a sandwich.
For those that don't know, Claire is our Twitch and IRIAM mod who will be joining us for the finale on Monday. But she joined us for a debate, and Claire made the right decision. So I can't stop Claire, right? Whatever Claire says, I gotta agree with it.
No, Claire made the wrong decision. Incorrect. It is a sandwich.
Mephistus is asking whether a sandwich is a hot dog.
Not all sandwiches are hot dogs, but all hot dogs are sandwiches.
It's an open face, says Stapleon. Blank Gato mentioning that a hot dog is a taco.
True. And a taco is a sandwich.
There you go. Hopefully that is crystal clear. The clearest answer we've got today.
Is this a regional thing? Have you guys ever had one of those open-faced turkey sandwiches, which is like a piece of bread with turkey on it and gravy? You guys ever had that? Is that a regional thing? Do you have that in
I mean,
the West
gravy,
Coast?
mashed potatoes and gravy sounds amazing. Like we have that, but I don't know about.
No, so it's called an open-faced turkey sandwich, and so it's just like a piece of bread with turkey on it, and then they cover the whole thing in gravy.
Well,
a very healthy food.
I'll say
based
this:
out of New England.
I don't know if I've had it.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I feel like this might be a regional thing because I've never seen it served like not in New England. Look, if you're gonna put gravy on it, I'm gonna eat it. Gravy is delicious.
Oh, there you have it. I better find one place that can serve that. There was one place that I really liked called Soup Plantation that closed forever, and it had the most exciting dishes, including the New York clam chowder, the lava cake, all the salads and soups. They probably would have done that turkey thing if they stayed open.
Yeah,
but they're gone.
Very.
No, I'm sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. Rest in peace. Well, Soup Plantation did get bought out, and they opened in Arizona, and they have another one opening on the not the best coast, I believe. I have to look that up a little deeper, but
you can go when you are you gonna go to Onki? Isn't that in Massachusetts?
That's
pop down to Soup Plantation.
Onki is out there in the middle of nowhere. Mycena.
It is. It's that I don't know why they chose that town. It really is the middle of nowhere.
All right.
It'll be great. I think they're gonna have a great time.
Feel free to keep asking some questions. I think we should just go into the fun segment. So, Mycena, if you know Mycena, she's not the most technologically advanced person, unless you talk to her today, because she was talking about her great setup in her office, all these computers and things. So I wanted to test Mycena. We're gonna show a collection of Elgato products, and we are not going to tell her what the actual product name is. Now, Mycena has been watching the stream the past couple of days, so she may know what they are, but not specifically the name of what it is. Because every product has their own SKU, they have their own, I guess, subtitle. So
you want to know what it is. Do you also want me to guess on what it does? Because I don't know that for most of these either.
we can do that. It might be obvious though, but we'll see.
I mean, like a camera, yeah, I can guess, but the little thingies, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. So, I'm gonna tell you all right now, if you're watching on IRIAM, to get some context, please join us on Twitch to see the visual as we go through the
I'll
different
describe
products.
it to you. I'll paint a picture with my words.
All right, shall we begin? We got a lot of them, so
Yes.
this will be
Okay,
fun.
I'm ready.
All right, let's begin. So here's the first one. And
Okay, this is a box with buttons on it. And I think this one is called the Buttonator.
the
And
button.
I think, yeah, the Buttonator. And I think that it files your taxes for you.
There you go. Files taxes.
It's got a
For
lot
you.
of very good looking buttons. One has like a star on it, and one has like a little joystick thing. It's very colorful, very cute.
All right. So this is how you spell Buttonator? Is this the right way to do it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is the Buttonator. For those of you watching, we'll even bold this. Buttonator files taxes for you. Very good. Okay. And also, the catch here is we're not telling Mycena what the actual name is, so this is just the answer.
I'll never know.
We'll send it to Elgato. I'm sure they'll be excited about this.
And then they'll sponsor me immediately because I'm so knowledgeable about their products.
All right. And now here's the next product. Okay. So here it is. What do you think?
Oh, okay. This one is a microphone, but it looks interesting. It looks quizzical. It looks like it has a question for you. So I think we're going to call this one Jeff.
Jeff.
And
Okay.
Jeff asks you every morning, how are you doing today? And he listens. He's just like a good listener.
How you are doing is a good listener. Okay. You know, in our PR class, we learned we have to describe everything in a sentence. I think that does the job. This is Jeff. All right. Well, on to the next one we go. All right. Ooh, here's a cool one.
Oh, a box with portals. Okay, this is very mysterious. It sort of is slopey and it's black. We will call this one the treasure chest.
The treasure chest. Okay.
And I think that it keeps your secrets for you. Just put your secrets in the little holes and then they're protected in there.
Keeps your secrets for you in the
Yeah.
holes.
In the holes, yeah.
There you go. The treasure chest. That's a kind of a fancy looking treasure chest though. Like,
Yeah.
is it like
It's
some of
very
them are
sleek.
flat?
It's
Like, how do you put it
it's
into the
like
big
a-
section?
well, you just have to have like little secrets. You like fold it up, I guess. Like roll it up. The big section is for big secrets, I guess. It's so you have like the smallest hole for small secrets, and then medium hole for medium secrets, and the big hole for like a really big secret, like you killed a man or something. Something really important.
That escalated. Oh my goodness. Also, thanks for the follow, Stapleon on Twitch, and we got Chow Skills. Probably fans join us on IRIAM as well. Here it is, the treasure chest.
Yay!
Oh, so far, so good. We got
I think
a lot
I'm
of
doing
products
really
to go.
good.
So this is getting exciting. We're just in the beginning. All right. Next product. Here it is. And the visual is on Twitch, but Mycena's describing it for our IRIAM audience.
Wow. Okay. This is
And
like
We're focused on
so many buttons.
yeah, we're focused on this right here. We're focused on this.
the middle bit. Okay, so it looks like one of those switchboards from the 50s where the lady would answer and be like, "Hello, who can I connect you to?" And then she'd plug your thing into a different hole, and she would take out wires and plug them in to another hole to connect your phone calls. And I think that's what it is. I think it is an throwback retro phone.
Throwback retro phone.
Yeah.
All right. And in one line, how would you describe how it works?
Well, it has AI, and the AI lady connects your phone calls for you.
AI lady connects your phone calls for you. The throwback retro phone.
Yay!
All right.
Airplane control panel. I mean, that was my second guess.
But we're going to go with the retro phone because it's been mentioned. Mephistus on Twitch says, I thought that was an airplane control panel. Oh, that's not how Mycena sees it, so...
That was my second guess, but luckily I knew the right answer the first time.
Yes. So for those that are joining us both on Twitch and IRIAM, and thank you for all the follows on both platforms, Mycena is currently naming the Elgato products that I'm showing on the screen, and we're not telling her the answer. So this is the official naming of these products. So go ahead and view it on Twitch, but Mycena is also describing it on IRIAM. And here's the next product. Okay, here it is.
Oh, okay, another microphone, but this one is very small. It's pocket-sized. So I think this one is called the banana phone because it's banana-sized. It uses a banana for reference.
Okay.
And it is it's just normal mic. It does normal mic stuff. Just put normal mic under that.
A normal mic. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the banana phone.
Yeah, normal mic, just like that.
Looks right. Okay. And now here's the next product. And we're focused on this part right here. Not the faded out part.
Oh, the arm. Okay. This is like it's like an arm extension thing that you like glue onto your desk, and then you can move your mic around. So if you want to like stand up or whatever. I think this one is called Mr. Roboto.
Mr.
And
Roboto.
An extender, obviously.
An extender. Okay, there it is. Mr. Roboto, an extender. And KK, the cosplayer, is asking on IRIAM, is it a holder? No, it's Mr. Roboto. That's what Mycena said, so it's Mr. Roboto.
It's clearly Mr. Roboto.
There it is. Thank you, Mycena, for
I know all the answers.
All right, awesome. Now, here's the next product. Okay, so looks kind of similar to the first thing you looked at.
Oh, this is like a Palm Pilot throwback. It's so little. It's so itty bitty. Yeah, okay, we're gonna call this one a Mazda CX-30.
I hope Mazda's okay with this. A Mazda CS30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And no, CX, not S. X.
CX30.
X30.
Okay.
And it's fine because they have a partnership with them. And so this lets you remote control your car from far away.
Remote control your car from far away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Mazda CX-30. All right. Sulong has joined us. If in case you're confused, Mycena is naming all the Elgato products, and we're not telling her the answer.
Calculator.
And we got the view on Twitch if you want to see the product, but Mycena is also describing it. Mephistus mentioning that's Eva from the movie WALL-E. Well, I think we're close. Yeah, I can kind of see it, maybe just a little rotated. But
it's got
actually,
that aura.
Actually, it's a Mazda CX-30, so... Or deeper in that. Okay, let's go to the next product. Here it is.
Oh, okay. This is like it's another black box with slope sides. It looks like it has vents in it and more holes, like little connecty thingies, and then like a gold sharp piece, maybe for stabbing.
Okay.
I think that this is a cage for a wild animal, and I think that the name of it is The Expense.
The Expense.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a
It's
cage
got
for
the
a
air
wild
holes
animal.
so you can put the animal in there.
The Expense. Does the animal supposed to fit in this? How big do you think this is? Like, what's the scale of this?
I don't know, hand sized? I think it's like a modem size. Is it modem size? I have no idea.
And an animal
You
can
should
fit
have
in
put a
there?
banana for scale on here.
I could have. But that's also up to interpretation. I mean, we're just testing your knowledge on these products. You should know the size. I guess it does fit an animal. So
yeah, if it's a small animal that you may need a knife for, don't worry about it.
okay, well, it's The Expense. There you go. And Stapley on mentioning, I trust Mycena on this. She knows animal husbandry.
True, I do.
Okay, let's go to the next one. I know we're short on time, so we'll speed up a little bit. Here's the next one.
Oh, okay. This is one of those flock cameras that spies on you for the government. So it's a flock camera and it spies on you for the government. I know this one. I know what these look like.
All right, flock camera. Hope I spelled this right. And it spies from the government. There you go. You have to be a government official to buy this from the website.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah. So that way you can plant it somewhere to watch spy for the government. You know.
Local Tooth Fairy agreeing in a Twitch chat saying that's very real. Let's go to the next product. Now, this product is exclusive. You can no longer buy this product.
Oh, it's got like a cash register arm. Is this a cash register? It's got it's got knobby things to turn. It's got buttons to press. So it's like a calculator cash register. It's like an old-timey cash register from the 90s. It doesn't even have the card swipe. So it's a time before credit cards. So we'll call this SX 1905.
With a space?
That's the model number. Yeah.
SX1905. And
that's like the official model number. Yeah. And it's a cash register from the 90s.
A cash register from the 90s. The SX1905.
From the 90s. A great year.
All right. Looks legit. The lighting is pretty good for the 1990s.
Look, we had great lighting in the 90s. Don't worry about it.
And Mephisto says that's a slot machine. Well, no, it's a cash register.
It does kind of look like a slot machine, but it's easy to mistake it, but it's actually a cash register from the 90s.
Yes. There it is. Perfect. Okay, next product. Here it is.
Oh, it's like a little black square thing that has a slightly triangular top bit, sides, squishies, and I think that this is a wallet that prevents people from stealing your identity, and it's called the Best Wallet.
Okay, that's a good name. The Best Wallet.
It's right on the ball for the branding there. That way, just lets you know what they're about, you know?
There you have it. So, a wallet that prevents you from stealing your identity. The Best Wallet. I mean, actually, I can kind of see where you would open it. I feel
right?
like
It looks like it opens.
I feel like there's a lot of ways to interpret the opening for this. Stapleon saying the best wallet can only hold 3 bills and 78 coins. That's very specific.
That's all you would need, really. So they're right on the ball with it.
We got Maria that's joined us on IRIAM. And Maria says, I wonder why she would be so invested in something that would prevent you from having your identity stolen. Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Who knows?
Huh. Okay, here's the next product. Nice and cool.
Oh, okay. This looks like one of those microwave packets that has popcorn in it. So, and it's black and it's plastic, but I think that it contains popcorn. I think this is like a very high-end popcorn popping and securing device so that no one takes your popcorn. So it's like a high-end popcorn device. And it's called the E-Pop.
Okay. The E. Oh, how do we spell that?
I think it's capital E and then pop.
E-Pop. Just like
Yeah.
that. A high-end popcorn popping device that secures your popcorn.
Yeah.
There you go. Everyone introducing the E-Pop.
I'm really good at this. I feel like I'm getting them all right.
we got a lot of people joining us on Twitch and IRIAM. Be sure to join us on Twitch to see the visuals of what Mycena is naming right now. We just got the E-Pop, and no, it's not spelled like that, Stapleon. It's spelled like this. It's E-Pop. That's according to Mycena. Okay, official name. Get it right. All right, here's the next product. Okay, this one might be more familiar.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a keyboard. What are the knobby things on the side? This is like way more buttons. This is advanced keyboard dynamic. Very advanced. Okay, so this is exclusive advanced keyboard for professionals. So we'll call this professional keyboard 4000.
Professional keyboard 4000. There it is.
It's got the knobs, it's got buttons, so many buttons, and it's rainbow, so it's for the gays also.
There it is. And, Stapleon's actually clarifying it's the E-Pop from the Internet Grandpa, and E-Pop uses the E-Pop. Oh, there you go. E-Pop's got a relationship with E-Pop. So this is very important to Stapleon right there. Yeah.
Like
sorry for misreading your message. Dynasty. I see what you mean. Wow. Now we gotta learn more about this. Eventually. Alright, well, that's cool. Next product. We're reaching the end now. Okay, so this is a bundle.
Oh,
it's a bundle. Laptop
Does it
not
include
included.
the lamp?
The lamp is the lamp is not included.
That's the part I want. So what's the bundle bit? The proppy thing and then the reflecty thing?
Right. So there's a prop
not the laptop
that holds the laptop, and then on the back there's a prop that holds that little mirror thing on the top. You see there's a little display here.
Okay, yeah. So there's like a
camera.
There's like a decorative fork that holds your laptop. And then there's a shelf over your laptop that holds a mirror. And so I think that this is a modern woman's vanity. You use this to apply your makeup while doing work because you're a modern working woman. And so we're going to call this vanity with 2 Y's.
Okay. Vanity, modern woman's vanity. There you go. It seems legit. Now, this is actually a new bundle. It released this week, and you can order it online. So, don't hesitate to get your vanity.
Can you buy the parts individually? Like, could you just buy the shelf part with nothing? Or does it only come in a bundle?
This is a collaboration with another company.
Okay.
the Elgato part is actually the one back here. And actually, if we really, really wanted to, we could. How do I add an arrow? I could ask you to name this. Okay, so what would you name that? Make some
The
space
mirror
here.
bit?
The mirror part, because that is the actual Elgato product. What would we name
Well,
that?
but that's the mirror. It's a mirror.
That's the vanity. That's
Yeah.
not the van. So that's the vanity.
So the whole bundle is
What's
the
bundle?
vanity, but like the vanity would not be good if you just had to put your mirror on the desk. You wouldn't be able to see. You'd only be able to see your like chin. It
Well,
would be nothing.
so that's the product from Elgato. So you're gonna have to name it.
Okay. We're gonna call that 66S67.
Okay. And it's quote just a mirror. All right. That I'm sure Mycena approves that. The 66S67 comes with the vanity bundle. Yep, seems legit. You can buy that separately. That's also available. And it comes in an XL size. So you can also get the 66S67XL.
Or when you want to be able to see your hair too.
Now, Local Tooth Fairy on Twitch is asking, do you get the mug? Okay, everyone's focused on the things that's not the actual product, which is a problem.
They should have blurred it out. They put too many interesting things on this desk. It's distracting.
This was on their promotional. Like, this is the flagship photo. Come on. Well, I don't know. I mean, we could name the mug, but that actually looks generic. So
it's just like a random IKEA mug.
All right. Well, we got Trixie, Sarah, and I joining us on IRIAM. Mycena right now is naming Elgato products without knowing what they are, and you can see the visual on Twitch, but Mycena is describing it in vocals. We should be at the second to last or the last one. I guess it's this one. Is it a different version without the mirror? Oh, you're supposed to attach a mirror later.
Okay.
So what is this one?
This looks like okay, so it's got like a flat bit that's like a tablet or something, and then it's got like a triangle piece on top that I don't know what it does, like a sunshade or something. I think that this is a GPS for your car. It kind of looks like something that would give you directions. And so I think that it's called Waze. But it's not spelled like Waze, it's spelled like WAISE.
Waze, a GPS for your car. All right, yeah, and this is different than the 66S67, by the way. This is not a vanity mirror. This is the GPS part that is probably has more sales as an individual
product. You don't need a mirror for your GPS. You don't need a mirror for your GPS, obviously, so makes sense.
All right, well, awesome. That's cool. And let's see. We probably have we have 2 more products. Here's this one.
Oh, okay. This is a ring light. It's a ring light, and it's called the Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh my gosh!
Named after the.
Okay, it's called.
It's named after the founder of lights.
Is this how you spell "Ring Around the Rosie"? I actually don't know. Is it this?
Close enough?
There it is. The ring.
Close enough.
the ring around the. Wait. Oh wait. Ring around the Rosie. Okay, fine. We'll take the suggestion.
Sure.
The ring around a Rosie, a ring light. All right. Awesome. There it is. That was the shortest explanation. Mycena just got it right away. This looks like a light. All right, we're on to the final product.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here it is.
I feel like I've done really good.
And we actually got 2 things here. So we moved this to the.
Is this desktop made of phones? Is this desktop made of iPhones?
When you look at this, just tell me your reaction when you think about these things.
There's so many buttons. Why are there so many buttons?
So we got an arrow pointing at the desk. We got an arrow
Okay.
pointing at this rug.
I don't know if you even use this desk. It has so much stuff on the desktop. It's like all buttons. You're putting stuff down on top of buttons. Doesn't that just press the buttons all the time? Your plant is pressing like 18 buttons at a time. I think I I don't understand how this is useful. This is giving my brain some issues, but I think that this is a desktop for people who like fidget spinners and need like a lot of buttons to press that don't do anything. They're just like really fidgety. So it's like a I think we're gonna call it the fidget desk.
The fidget desk.
Yeah. And then
Nice
what's
with
the other
fidget.
one?
Perfect.
The like
So there it
the,
is. The fidget desk, a desktop for people that like fidget spinners.
yeah, okay, and then we've got a Dance Dance Revolution gamepad on the floor. It is a rug that looks like it's got buttons on it, like Dance Dance Revolution. So this is Dance Dance Revolution for nerds who like buttons. And it's called Not Dance Dance Revolution.
What? Not
Yeah,
not
it's
dance
not.
dance revolution. DDR for nerds that like buttons. Okay.
And then
Perfect.
okay,
Now, real quick, that not Dance Dance Revolution, there's only one that was ever made, and it was given away on the Elgato Twitch channel. So if you want to win
Ooh.
giveaways like this, make sure to follow and also subscribe on YouTube. But please follow Elgato on Twitch, and you might win an exclusive product like that, the Not Dance
Like-
Dance Revolution.
Yeah, for if you really want to play Dance Dance Revolution, but you also like buttons.
Yes. Okay, and the last one is this big light.
These are like the twin towers of lights. They feel very ominous. And I think that they are the kind of lights that you put on yourself in the winter to give you vitamin D. It's vitamin D for shut-in gamers. Very important product for shut-in gamers. And it's called the Dizzler.
The Dizzler. Okay.
Yeah, like Twizzler, but with D.
And how would you describe it in one sentence?
It is vitamin D lamps for gamer shut-ins.
Lamps for gamer shut-ins. Okay, there you go. The Dizzler. Vitamin D lamps for gamer shut-ins. All right. And that concludes our tour of select Elgato products. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Hey, I think I did really good.
So let's just go back and we're going to review them. And just for those that missed it, we have the Buttonator, which files taxes for you. Jeff, which asks you how you're doing and is a good listener. The Treasure Chest, which keeps your secrets for you in the holes. Throwback Retrophone, which is an AI lady that connects your phone calls for you. Here we go. And then the Banana Phone, which is a normal mic, quotes intended. Mr. Roboto, an extender. A Mazda CX-30. Mazda CX-30, remote control your car from far away. The Expense, a cage for a wild animal. Block camera, spies from the government. An SX 1905, a cash register from the 90s. The Best Wallet, a wallet that prevents you from stealing your identity. E-Pop, a high-end popcorn popping device that secures your popcorn. Professional Keyboard 4000, exclusive advanced keyboard for professionals. The 66S67, which is just a mirror, and you can bundle it into a vanity for a modern woman's vanity. Now, 2 Y's in that one for vanity. We have Waze, a GPS for your car. The ring around the rosy, a ring light. The Dizzler, which is a vitamin D lamp for gamer shut-ins. The fidget desk, a desktop for people that like fidget spinners. And not Dance Dance Revolution, DDR for nerds that like buttons. There you go.
Oh my goodness. I think I did really good.
And that was Name That Gato. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. We're definitely not going to reference this in the future at all for the marketing department. Surely. But the options are there.
I don't know. I think the vitamin D lamps for gamers is a good idea because surely a lot of people who work indoors need that in the winter.
Okay. Well, we've reached the end of the stream segment. We kind of held Mycena a little long, actually. But if y'all maybe have like 1 or 2 questions, we can answer them before we conclude. And that'll be the end of this segment. And don't forget that we do have part 2, which is with Himi Subaru, coming up at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on IRIAM. So make sure you download the IRIAM app beforehand to join that part. If you have any questions for Mycena's Cottage, please ask them now. We'll take 2 questions, and then we will end. I see that Teeth has joined us on the IRIAM app as well. I think Teeth was too intrigued by what Mycena was doing on naming the products that it compelled them to join us on the IRIAM stream.
Well, I know you were most excited about that part, so I hope that it lived up to your expectations.
No, it's funny. Some of them were actually kind of close. So
I feel like professional keyboard was close. I got that one.
All right. So last call for questions here. As we're concluding, I'm also looking for someone that we can raid to. I probably should have kept a list of people I've rated before.
Ace's live.
Yeah, I was thinking about Asa. I'm like, did I rate Asa recently? But Asa is also a supporter and a streamer on IRIAM. Maybe we'll go there. Awa, thanks for the Awa, local Tooth Fairy on Twitch. Okay, well, I guess we could do some closing thoughts here. Just to show again on the screen, the TLDR of what we talked about is the 4 pillars of PR: reputation, branding, relationships, and prevention. We talked about different ways to not cause drama and to have a good PR tactics for your own brand, especially if you're a streamer or just a content creator in general, someone that has to work with other companies. We talked about the Elgato Ambassador Program / Partner Program, and if that opens up, you'll be ready to sign up for that. And we also we named a lot of products, so that was a pretty productive stream today. Almost all of them. So that's really awesome.
In the marketing department, I'd do great.
Yes. Now, Mycena, I know you stream on Twitch. Do you stream on any other platforms?
Oh, yes, I just started on YouTube. And I also do hand cams on Twitch. On TikTok on occasion when I want to go out into the garden. So we'll do like garden stuff, hand cam stuff on TikTok sometimes.
All right, awesome. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see something immersive like that. So if you want to check out Mycena's Cottage on all the social media platforms, I think you can just look up Mycena's Cottage and it will work out pretty easily. You have a pretty good reputation on Google.
I'm the only Mycena's Cottage, and I'm one of 2 Mycena VTubers, so you'll probably find me. Or you'll find Blue Mycena, who knows me and will point you to the right place.
All right. Sounds good. So I want to say thank you to Mycena's Cottage. We're going to end the IRIAM stream, and then we're going to raid out together to Asa on Twitch. So please join us on Twitch for the raid out. I would say goodbye on IRIAM, and remember, stay tuned for the special collaboration with Huma Subaru exclusively on IRIAM 2 hours from now. Take care on IRIAM. Bye-bye, friends.
Bye, Miriam.
Okay, we just had to I have to do some cleanup work here, so I'd like to take a screenshot of my results. I actually have not filled out that Google sheet that Mycena influenced me to fill out since last year. And I've just been collecting screenshots.
On it. Yeah, I would go in like once a month and do all my screenshots on like while I was streaming on IRIAM just to catch up because it was hard on the daily. Because there was times where I was streaming like 3 times a day on IRIAM. I don't have that kind of like back end time to like be filling out Google Docs like every 2 minutes after I'm done streaming. Usually I'm running from one thing to the next.
Yeah, I know I was falling behind on that, so I gotta catch up on that at some point.
I mean, as long as you have the screenshots, you can go back and do it whenever.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a raid message. If you're subscribed, you obviously will be able to use the Killjoy Turtles. I know that Mycena's Cottage actually gifted a sub, and if it turns out that no one gifts subs on Twitch. So if we do win somehow, we're 3rd place right now. If we do win, Mycena automatically wins a Stream Deck faceplate for being number 1 on the gift sub list. So congratulations, Mycena's Cottage. But we'll have to see what happens when we get there. And that is going to be that big push tomorrow. I can handle
having a Stream Deck simultaneously while streaming. I can barely keep up with playing games and reading chat at the same time. I don't know that I can like handle having any more buttons.
All right, real quick, let's take a look at the incentives again. We're at 85,000, so the next redeem is 100,000, and that is for me to fully commit to the song with Huma Subaru. It will be a full-on video, music, song, all of that. And there's the other incentives on the screen. And tomorrow on Twitch, you'll see the recap in the morning on all the Elgato products we talked about. And we'll have the live 2D model reveal to end the week, and hopefully we win. But if we don't win, it's okay. Excited. I had such a fun time. This was already worth it from today. Today was already worth it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you've had so many fun streams this week. I feel like it's been such a good time.
It's been awesome. Moro has joined us on Twitch as well. Nice to see you, Moro, right at the end. Nice to see the blue cat here. We're just about to raid, so please join us in a raid. Raid is starting now, and we're going to go to Asa. Yeah, go spread some love to Asa. All right. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye.